This has never been done before. Not even Solana does this. I have talked with the Monad team before. If you're truly talking about like long-term, which chain can even push past Solana scalability, I would put Monad. But yeah, that will be a very far-fetched stretch still. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Dennis. I'm a crypto angel investor for the past 5 years, and I have invested in over 100 crypto companies. On this channel, I share my views on market trends and investing strategy to build wealth in crypto. Let's get straight into it. First off, it's very important to figure out exactly what this even means, this idea of a parallel EVM. So when you go on Twitter nowadays, right, you see a lot of these memes combining EVM compatibility with high amounts of throughput, right? 10,000 transactions per second. Apparently, this is a huge deal, right? So when you go on Twitter, a lot of talk you see is parallel EVM. Just search up for this term and you'll see a ton of talk about this. So really, what is this idea, right? What is a parallel EVM? How is that different from a typical parallel blockchain? So we have to look at this in two ways. There is the parallel processing part and there's the EVM part. The parallel processing part is nothing new in the world of blockchains, right? Parallel processing in typical computing terms just means that, okay, you have your computer, you have a processor, and you feed a bunch of instructions to the processor and they get processed one by one. That is called sequential computing. Typical computing nowadays is parallel computing, where your processor has multiple cores, for example, and let's say you want to throw a video edit at it, throw a browser session at it. So these instructions will all be divided up and shared by these different cores. So this is what parallel processing is. And of course, this leads to better, faster execution because you have multiple things happening together and different things don't need to wait for each other. For example, if my computer was sequential processing only one core, then I wouldn't be able to run this browser at the same time as, let's say, I want to do a live stream. Right. Very, very plain example. Now, in the world of blockchains, this also exists already. So the most obvious example is, of course, Solana, right? So if you just go on Solana's website and you go on, what their main promise is, Solana was effectively the first blockchain to actually bring this parallel processing idea to market and have real adoption. So the reason why Solana is able to achieve, 3,000 transactions per second today and 300 milliseconds block finality time, right, is because it uses these parallel execution and local fee market. So what does this look like? So on the left side here, you have a EVM environment, which is like typically think of it like Ethereum. You have every single type of transaction sharing the same block space, sharing, the same execution queue. So what you have here is like, you see this monkey here. This is like an NFT transaction. You have a swap transaction. You have something else. You have another swap, you have a typical token transfer, you have maybe a lending borrowing protocol. So you have all of these things being in the same queue, and that's representative of a sequential processing, right? So this means some of the things will be slow, right? Because they have to wait for others, and they will be more expensive because no matter how much your transaction is worth, you have to pay the same gas cost. On the other hand, on the right side here, we have the SVM or the Solana virtual machine, which does have a localized fee market and parallel execution. And the simplest way that they have visualized this is that it first checks for different dependencies, and then it's able to put the NFT transactions together in one queue of execution. You have your decentralized exchange transactions, you have your RWA transactions, etc., etc. So the parallel processing part has already been widely achieved in many blockchains out there, Solana being the most successful one with the highest amount of adoption. But you also have other examples, right? So you have things like Sui and Aptos, which already are parallel processing from day one. It's just that nobody uses them as much. So that's what parallel processing is. Now, in terms of what the EVM is in this hype wave of, parallel EVM. This just means that, we have traditionally seen Solana being the SVM and other blockchains. They have to design their custom tech that enables this parallel processing. But now finally, this parallel processing part is starting to merge with the Ethereum technology stack, which means it's the Ethereum virtual machine. So quite soon we will have blockchains that are super fast, around the same level as Solana, but it also supports Ethereum wallets such as MetaMask and Ethereum transactions, Ethereum smart contract language. So any developer can create apps on them while having similar levels of scalability as Solana. So that's the basis of what Parallel EVM is. So that's all the background context I will give you guys. So Monad, just very briefly, is the kind of, they claim to be the end all be all, the extremely parallelized Ethereum virtual machine enabled from the ground up blockchain. They say so here themselves. Monad is a decentralized, developer-friendly layer 1 smart contract platform that ushers in a new paradigm of possibilities, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They don't claim much in terms of scalability here. 10,000 transactions per second, 1 second block time, single slot finality. However, what is really makes Monad unique is that they not only take that parallel execution that we have in Say V2 and in the Solana virtual machine with Eclipse, but they also have parallel storage. The whole blockchain is designed from the ground up to be parallel. So you see here they have parallel execution, and they deferred that execution by separating out the storage layer. Last but not least, they have a Monad DB, which is a parallel blockchain data structure. This has never been done before. Not even Solana does this. I have talked with the Monad team before. The way they describe this is really just thinking about all the ways that a blockchain can be designed and reinventing every single way to make sure every set of the blockchain stack is parallelized. Again, that will sound very vague, and it is by today's standards, because they don't even have a Devnet out. I believe their first developer net is happening early this year, and then testnet maybe late this year, and then mainnet will be like even later. So still very, very far away, very crazy long timeline. But that's why I think if you're truly talking about like long-term, which chain can even push past Solana scalability and even higher adoption than like other Ethereum layer 2s, I would put Monad. But yeah, that will be a very far-fetched stretch still, because this project is still very far away. And I don't even think their token is going to come out like 6 to 12 months. It'll be quite far away still. So that's why, I don't want to go too deep on this. Just keep this one on the radar. I know a lot of people have been, shilling this already and trying to farm some sort of airdrop. They probably will have airdrop, but I don't think this is the time to get FOMO on this yet. This project is very promising, but still very far away. If you want to trade any of these coins, for example, for Say, for Solana, we have a lot of focus on the Ethereum layer 2 ecosystem for this next quarter. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if I have missed any specific blockchain that you see could be potentially disruptive on this spectrum. Let me know why, and I'll do more research in them to see if they are truly different from everything else here. Make sure to join our Discord with the link in the description, or go to discord.gg/virtualbacon. This is where I drop all of our in-depth alpha, trade setups, a ton of trade alerts, Bitcoin analysis as well, and at times, alpha setups with new project launches and airdrops. And you can join a community of 20,000 members, talk with other people if you have any questions. Make sure to follow me on Twitter or X at Virtualbacon0x. This is where I drop quick alpha when I'm doing research for these videos. So if you want the quickest alpha, definitely Twitter and X is the place to go. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video and next live stream.